caer, a la hora de caer, sigue avanzando hacia la derecha. Porque donde te muevas tantito son muertos. Porque exactamente.
We have a new leader.
Test. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are about 3 minutes from our feature event of the day. GNP presents the 45 Grand Prix here today, and I'm joined with Mixed Rider Ivana and Robinson, of course. Ivana, it's a lovely course. You've walked it. Are you excited? Speed Coda, very excited too.
I'm very excited. I'm excited about this line, the 6, 7, 8. I think it's, for me, it's the hardest part of the course. Jump is very exciting.
Yeah, it's a great feature fence as well, and our course designer Gerard has done a great job this week. Every day we get more technical courses, and like you said, this line will really test your mettle and test the ability of your horse.
Yes, it's like 8 or 7 strikes, I think, the way you land. So it's very forward and be very protected.
For sure, because you're coming up the hill, and people at home who can't see it, there is a gradient. So you're sort of jumping 3 fences up the hill, and then you have, so the camera can see the fence, that it's narrow, it's full height of 1.45 meters, and then you have 5 stripes, the big boxer, the group-responsive fence.
Yes, and then the 5 strides are uphill as well, so I think when you count them, then you wall, the horse goes a little up and you push for a little bit.
No, for sure. And then we look at the last line, then you have a vertical, then to a double of verticals on 2 strides, which is, a narrow fence, and then a long gallop to the last.
Yes, that one's also really complicated. I think it also depends on where you land and where you want to slide when you trace the curve. But my horse has a very long stride, so I think we're going to do it.
Perfect, that's confidence. Well, look, thank you so much for joining me here in the main arena, and we wish you all the very best of luck. Cheers. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We are, just under 30 minutes away from the feature event here today, presented by GNP Seguros, and it's going to be a great competition. We have a huge field of all of our international riders taking their horses here this afternoon. But this morning, it's only midday here in Mexico for all of you watching at home. So we are very excited. Gerard Lachey has done a fantastic job yet again with the course. And as we look around the arena, we can see all of our riders just getting the last bit of preparation done before we kick off here at 12 o'clock. So join us then. We look forward to bringing you what will be another action-packed competition here this morning.
Desde el día cero, hemos creído en el poder transformador de la energía y por eso elegimos ser ese boost que te impulsa en cada paso. Estamos orgullosos de ser parte de la historia de miles de personas increíbles, como tú. Nuestro compromiso de cuidar de ti y de los tuyos continúa. Bedoyecta, 50 años de energía que inspira.
¿Ya tienes la app Soy Cliente GNP? Descárgala, regístrate y accede a promociones, eventos y talleres exclusivos. Desde la app puedes consultar, descargar y pagar tus pólizas. Obtener orientación médica 24/7 con Médica Móvil. Acceder a tu tarjeta digital si tienes seguro médico GNP. Si tienes seguro de auto GNP, puedes solicitar asistencia vial. Guarda tus datos en la guantera digital. Disfruta todos los beneficios de ser cliente GNP. Vivir es increíble.
No lo
So we're now joined in the main event by Francesco Tello,
the Chief Operating Officer of OTOMI. It has been a fantastic show. And first of all, I want to give my gratitude to you and the whole team for inviting me over, first of all.
And just to say, everything you've seen, or I've seen over the last 4 days, has been spectacular. The team here in the arena, the team in the catering, the VIP, it's just super. So thank you very much. And then, maybe tell us a little bit about the history of OTOMI and the show here.
Thanks for being here, first of all. This is your house, and we hope to see you soon again and again and again. So we're very happy with the show. We've been doing the show since 2012, so it's been taking us experience every year, trying to get better, and getting to the point that we have a show that's today. Making everybody happy, that's our work, that's the job we need to do. Have nice courses for everybody, nice food, nice ambience, music, everything. The stalls, every time we finish a show, we start working on something new to make it better.
I don't know how to make it better because it is pristine. We talk about the ground, like we discussed it yesterday, and I spoke to Gerard Lachet, our course designer from Switzerland, and he says we've had hundreds of horses jump over the last 4 days on this, and you can look at the ground, it is absolutely perfect.
Well, also again, it's years and years of experience. For the last year and a half, we had the coaching of Michel Poncelet, which is a magnificent agronomist. He's been teaching me, and we're trying to apply everything that he tells us to the court. So this is a nice result, and I'm so very happy because next week we have a show again, and the course is going to be pretty good for that second week.
Yeah, it's so great to have a show like, you know, the full tour, 2 weeks back to back. So it just shows how much work you and your team have put into it. But even like the fences are perfect, and we had a pole broke yesterday, and straight away the guys were in a new pole, and then they were painting another one. It's just every attention to detail is just brilliant.
Well, thank you. On behalf of this crew that you're talking about, which we call here the Fajina, led by Domingo, they are amazing. They've been recognized as the Fajina #1 in the world. They don't need to speak the language of the designer. They understand exactly what the designer wants. And
they move fast.
They're thorough. They're professionals.
Yes, and they're always smiling as well, which really helps, and we have the weather as well. And look, we have now the big one presented by GNP Seguros. They've been fantastic sponsors this week. How long have you been working with these great sponsors you've had here for the show all week?
Most of them have trusted our show for more than 10 years now. So we're very happy because it's been working for them, it's working for us. We're making a great team with them, and I'll give thanks to GNP to start with, Banorte, Visa, Play Do It, and everybody that's with us, no?
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now just 20 minutes away from our first horse coming into this 1:45 meter. Francesco, thank you very much. And as I said, it's a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thanks.
Desde el día cero, hemos creído en el poder transformador de la energía, y por eso elegimos ser ese boost que te impulsa en cada paso. Estamos orgullosos de ser parte de la historia de miles de personas increíbles, como tú. Nuestro compromiso de cuidar de ti y de los tuyos continúa. Bedoyecta, 50 años de energía que inspira.
¿Ya tienes la app Soy Cliente GNP? Descárgala, regístrate y accede a promociones, eventos y talleres exclusivos. Desde la app puedes consultar, descargar y pagar tus pólizas. Obtener orientación médica 24/7 con Médica Móvil. Acceder a tu tarjeta digital si tienes seguro médico GNP. Si tienes seguro de auto GNP, puedes solicitar asistencia vial. Guarda tus datos en la guantera digital. Disfruta todos los beneficios de ser cliente GNP. Vivir es increíble.
No lo quiero, lo necesito. Que mis viajes sean perfectos. Hacer todo desde donde esté. Que me reconozcan en todo momento. Tener ventajas en cada compra. Contrata tu tarjeta de crédito Banorte en Banorte Móvil, banorte.com y en sucursales. Banorte, 125 aniversario.
and gentlemen, we are just under 15 minutes away, and we're just going to give you a quick rundown of the course. So we're starting with the treble bar in the centre of the arena, and what a way to start to open the horse up. And then they come galloping across the arena on the 7 strides to the vertical fence at 2. Then they swing right-handed to the oxer. Just up from us here, the OTOMI pink oxer, which is a beautifully designed fence. And they swing right-handed to the Banorte oxer, and then down the 5 strides to the beautifully designed fence at 5 on the 5 strides as well. And I was speaking to Ivana, she said the ground sort of falls away a little bit on that related distance, so you just have to be very careful coming down to such a delicate fence at 5. And then the real questions start to be asked. By our course designer Gerard Lachey from Switzerland, we have the treble combination at fence 6. And what a combination it is. It's coming up the hill on 1 stride to the oxer and 2 strides to the vertical. And then they have a bending line then to the beautifully designed wall at fence 7. And from speaking to the riders, they can either go on 7 long strides because you're still coming up the hill, or add in the extra stride for the 8. And then you have the related distance straight away after that on the 4 strides, still climbing up the hill a little bit. Bupa Formula kind of sponsoring that fence. And then they swing to the Paris vertical at 9. And then they're swinging away from us down to the Germanez oxer at fence 10. And then they swing back on themselves to the vertical at 11 before they then come to a very big double oxer in and vertical out in the home stretch to the GNP fence at 13. So the course distance is 505 meters and the time allowed is 81 seconds. 13 numbered fences with 16 jumping obstacles. It is going to be a fantastic Grand Prix.
Desde el día cero, hemos creído en el poder transformador de la energía, y por eso elegimos ser ese boost que te impulsa en cada paso. Estamos orgullosos de ser parte de la historia de miles de personas increíbles, como tú. Nuestro compromiso de cuidar de ti y de los tuyos continúa. Bedoyecta, 50 años de energía que inspira.
Y bien, le vamos a pedir al público nos acompañe de pie a escuchar el himno nacional de México, como es la tradición antes de este Gran Premio CSI 2 estrellas. Gracias.
A very warm welcome back to the stunning OTOMI Equestrian Center here in San Miguel de Allende in Mexico as we reach the grand finale of what has been 4 unforgettable days of world-class show jumping. It all comes down to this, the 2-star Grand Prix with a prize fund of $62,500 US, the final class of the week, and a fitting conclusion to an extraordinary show that has combined top sport, breathtaking scenery, and an atmosphere unlike anywhere else. Over the past few days, we have seen riders from across the globe deliver exceptional performances, from the rising stars of the sport to experienced names who have lit up this OTOMI arena. Today's Grand Prix course will ask everything of horse and rider: precision, balance, and bravery. The fences are standing tall, the lines are demanding, and the time allowed will keep every competitor on edge from start to finish. To win here means something special. It's a moment for riders to remember. This arena, framed by the mountains of central Mexico, has been alive with atmosphere all week, from the first round on Thursday to this final class. The OTOMI Equestrian Center has once again proven why it is one of the most admired venues on the international calendar. So welcome, let's get started as the first one is underway on this interesting course, the final course set by Jared Lachey from Switzerland, assisted by Benjamin Fernandez Gonzalez from Mexico. It's John Perez Bom that starts us off, representing Colombia. Total of 7 nations represented here, as we go to a rider that demands attention. He's known for his competitive style and ability to win against the clock. Proven winner at 145 level. A Grand Prix here today at a height of 145 also. If you find this athlete in the jump off, his natural speed and precision will certainly make him a very dangerous contender, as he will certainly aim for that top spot, and rightly so. An incredible talent, especially with some of these talented horses he's joined us here across the 4 days with. He rides King of Pop VK. Now I'll let you have a look at the course and get an opportunity there as he crosses that finish line, as the Pathfinder goes clear. The Colombian on Perez Bom, clear opening round. Well, a super start to the competition of this 2-star Grand Prix, with 40 entered into it, 7 nations represented, 25 of those for Mexico. We already have one guaranteed through to the jump off on Perez Bom, as the opening round is clear. Well, lots of twists, lots of turns as we proceed to the next partnership, and the first for the home nation to join us is second to go. And front, riding CBS Cantastic. This is the Mexican rider, Alberto Sanchez Cozar. Having to follow that brilliant opening round by John. Well, as you can see, it's as we follow the course here, lots of twists, lots of turns as we go into some magnificently coloured and beautiful fences on course. We're looping round here to fence 6. Now this is a triple combination. It's a height of 145 vertical in, 1 stride to the oxer, 143 high, 150 wide, and then the 145 vertical going out over the wall, then 7 strides down to the wall. A height of 145, a quick succession there, related distance 4 strides down to fence number 8. We're coming around to the final part of the course. 4 faults at the Oxer water tray. That's fence number 10, 145 high, 155 wide. And in fact, after that knock, Alberto has decided to retire. It's been a long week. Our show as the sun beats down in Mexico, we continue to the next nation to be represented, and that's Geronimo Canemes Herrera. He rides Corrales Come On, representing Argentina. Geronimo, just aged 28, relocated in 2018 to Mexico to pursue his professional equestrian career. He's continuing to expand his visibility at these high-level shows. He's competed in Guadalajara, here in San Miguel de Allende. He's represented Argentina at the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup Series, competing against some of the world's best. Consistent contender in Grand Prix. That'll be interesting to see as this evolving talent approaches the triple combination. Somewhat less imposing than yesterday afternoon's 1m60 5-star Grand Prix, but this is just as significant of a challenge with a slight rub of that oxer. All the pools still remain. As Geronimo is proceeding down to fence number 10 with just the 4 efforts to provide our second clear and create our jump off at this early point into the final combination with just the 1 from home. Could we have our jump off at this early stage? The answer to that is yes. With the time of 77.69, he's in under the time allowed, and he's left them all in the cups, and that means a clear round for the Argentinian rider Geronimo Canemes Herrera. Well, that means Argentina has won through to the jump off, joining Jean Perez Bon from Colombia. And now we go to rider that has already stood on top of the podium here, and he'll be looking to replicate that in this Grand Prix. He was the winner of the competition that preceded us here today. It was a part of the 5-star jumping, and in fact concluded the 5-star jumping for the week. It was a 2-phased competition at a height of 1m50. Riding Tiffany de Olid is the winner of that competition, Samuel Parro, as he rejoins us here. We're representing Chile. He is certainly on form. He's had a great week too. Enjoyed every moment jumping here in what has been described by riders as a fantastic grass arena, but that is a brick on the floor, and that means 4 faults at our walled fence. Really bright wall that can cause a lot of issues for some of our horses and riders. A knock at the water tray oxer as well, so 4 faults from that front rail, starting to slow down and deciding possibly to call it a day. And in fact, Samuel does raise his hand and will decide to call it a day. Well, we will take an opportunity at the halfway point of the first round for an arena maintenance break. Now that will be approximately 15 minutes or so, so sit back and relax every moment between now and then as we enjoy this wonderful sport here on a Sunday afternoon, wherever you may be watching around the world. Pleasure to have you along with us. We now turn to the home nation once again. Let's see if we can get a Mexican rider in the jump off at this early point. Well, this is Patricio Pascalpu and Carrara Bulu. We start off with that triple bar combination. In fact, that's a height of 1.45 m, 160 wide, with the 7 strides down to fence 2. We have that long loop round to the beautiful pink oxer. 7 down. Some might opt to put in that extra stride to 8 into the Bannerette fence with a 5 stride down to fence number 5 at a height of 145, and then we loop round, making them compose, concentrate into the triple combination. But unfortunately, it's the first element of that goes. Clears the wall with a 4 stride down to the oxer, 145 high, 155 wide. As Patricio now comes into the second half of this course. Plank leading down to related distance into the combination. Back rail goes with the first element, 1 stride with a vertical out. And clears the last fence. It falls in a 78.31.
So unfortunately there, first combination for that 6 and then 12 there for Patricio Pascalpu.
Well, still plenty of opportunities for the Mexican riders to get one through to the jump off, and when I tell you that the audience and the spectators here are right behind their home nation riders, they are with them every stride and every jump, and we'll continue with that support as we remain with the Mexican home nation. Emilio Salales Rodriguez riding Boomerang du Million. Next to go as the 6th. Starting his round over that triple bar. Certainly making his mark. He's a young rider riding this 14-year-old by Vagabond de la Pomme. Couple of close rubs, and resultantly has now knocked a pole on the ground for the young man. He's just aged 16 and already jumping at this level. At the 4th place finish in the 2-star Grand Prix ranking class and part of the Mexico City Tour back in May this year. He's competing in the under 25 ranking, part of the under 25 Longines ranking, or correction, the Longines ranking simultaneously as well. A knock at the plank and the first element of the double, so a total of 12 to the last fence for Emilio, and 78.95, so a total of 12 then for the Mexican rider Emilio Salinas Rodriguez and Boomerang du Million. I've had 2 Mexican riders in a row. Fancy another one? I think so. Sofia Larrera B, Mexican rider with Jumpstar SIH. Great to see so many of the young riders jumping here, using this opportunity to jump in a 5-star venue. Well, she was jumping here all week. Top 10 performance in the 2-star on day number 1 in the 140. As she goes now with Jumpstar SIH. Moves well over the ground. 7 strides down into that iconic blue fence. It's so colourful, it's beautiful. Looping round into this triple combination then. Just needs to remain composed into the first and second clear and out also. But a knock at that wall. It's a brick down, so 4 faults will be added to Sofia's score. Now into the water tray with a bright turn on that right rein to the plank. And concludes the round, finishing over the last fence with just that 4 faults. Well, great effort as she pats her horse, Jumpstar SIH. It's just the 4 then in 76.96 for Sofia Larrera B. Well, 2 clear so far. It's John Perez Baum and Geronimo Gameres Herrera. Colombia and Argentina represented in the jump off so far. But we will remain with the home nation riders. Riding Quinley, and next in Federico Fernandez. What an afternoon this athlete had yesterday. The emotion that he had on the podium, it meant the world to him, and there's no better feeling than winning on your home turf and home territory. Well, yesterday afternoon, this is the rider that produced the winning round in our 165-star Grand Prix, and it was just absolute masterclass. Only 2 riders got into the jump off. He was first to come into that jump off and produced a clear round, and he really put to the other rider that's got in to that jump off. He really piled the pressure on the Latvian rider Krizis Bask Nick Drenes. As he just moves so elegantly over the ground once again here. Just took a little check going into that fence. This is a 16-year-old, has plenty of experience. His bike Quintero. In over just the 1 from home. Is this our first Mexican rider in the jump off? Yes, it is. Clear round for Federico Fernandez. Quinley, will he be a Grand Prix winner here again today? Well, there's only one way to find out. Stick around for that jump off. 3 riders now through to that, with our home nation represented by a wonderful athlete Federico Fernandez producing the clear round, joining Argentina and Colombia in the nations represented.
77-68.
En la pista número 9 de México, Juan Pablo Ciudad Colombia monta Aquarelsa.
Well, next is Juan Pablo Cheduri and Prom as he rides Aquarela, a son. Also from Mexico. Top 10 finish in the 135 this week on Thursday. Slight rub of the vertical. Consistently proven at this level. 2-star classes, but has also tackled those more challenging courses at 5-star level. He's confirmed to be competing at the highest level, including Longines Jumping World Cup qualifiers at a height of 160. Often jumps alongside other family members. He'll be a significant figure for this home crowd. As we now go into the last 3 efforts, 1 to go from home. Will this be another one for the home nation? A slight rub of that front pole of the last fence, but the crowd are clapping, the crowd are cheering, and rightly so, as we have another clear produced for the Mexican riders. It's clear and through to the jump off for Juan Pablo Cheduri from Aquarel Sun. Well, the accuracy is there, and a couple of lucky escapes from the fences, especially at that last fence. A reminder of the time allowed here, it is 81 seconds, a little bit generous. We haven't seen anyone come too close to that, as the slowest time we've seen to date was 78.95. So plenty of time on the course. Will some of our riders use every bit of that time to create the accuracy that they need to clear the fences and create our jump off? We'll just have to wait and see. The jump off is over a shortened course, but we will revisit that before we start the jump off. For now, it is all the attention on this beautiful grass arena. See how many will go through to the jump off, as the next rider is also for Mexico. And this is Alberto Rian Planas. He rides the Paul S. Clears the triple combination into the wall. Plenty of energy, quite bouncy, and the back rail is down, just landing a little bit short. The back hoofs catch the pole. With another back rail caught, it's 8 faults now to the last fence for the Mexican rider, and that is the slowest time we've seen to date, and in fact it is the first time we've seen our time allowed being exceeded of 81 seconds. So with the time on the clock there of 81.43, that's 1 for time and 8 for jumping for Alberto Rian Planas, Nepal, Mexico.
So next go for Argentina. We have 1 rider to jump off. Let's make it 2 with Francisco Forte.
Now we go to the next for the Argentina riders, and this young man, just 26 years old. This is Francisco Leonforte. Regularly competes at 2 and 3 star level. Had a 4th place finish in the 135 visa competition on Friday. Just shy of 1 placing to step up to that podium, but will today be his day? Well, we already have one Argentinian rider through. Let's see if he can get this 12-year-old Cash Girl 7 through to the jump off. He's certainly dedicated and a highly effective young professional. If it comes down to getting one through to the jump off, but it won't be today. It is a knockdown for Francisco. He has the ability, but as always in this sport, it's just the smallest of touches that can lead to the knock of a pole, but that's what makes it exciting as he knocks the wall as well. Well, not going to plan at all here, and loops around into the final line. And over the last fence as well. That's another knockdown. So a total of 20 there in 76.19 for Argentina's Francisco Leonforte Cash Girl.
On the ground there for our Argentinian rider, Francisco Leonforte and Cash Girl 7.
And back to the home nation we go, to Eduardo Sanchez Navarro. He rides Graje O. As we just wait, you can see in the screen there some of our arena crew readjusting the blue bricks in the background on the wall.
On your starters, we welcome Eduardo Sanchez Navarro, and he rides a 14-year-old Ardento bred Graje O.
Now Eduardo comes with solid momentum here. He'll be looking to continue that momentum in this first round. He was the winner of the 2-star 140 competition, the competition yesterday, part of our 2-star jumping as a competition, winning round competition. He also placed 3rd on Friday in the 145, and 2nd in the 5-star 145 on Thursday. In fact, he's had 4 top 4 finishes already this week. He's one of Mexico's most reliable competitors. Key rider to watch, especially if he gets into the jump off against the clock. When the course demands speed, he can provide it. Promising so far into the plank. But the 3rd last effort, it is that first element of the double combination that goes in 77.76. A late knockdown for Eduardo. That is 4 faults then. Well, Eduardo Sanchez Navarro and 4 faults. While Nicolas Pizarro, this is Chauffeur Ra. Plenty of experience and plenty of wins under his belt, but an interesting week for him, including the first competition today in our 5-star 1m50 Star Medica placed third and fourth, and it was just 1/100th of a second dividing his two times. Sometimes our riders have a plan and they ride to a certain pace, but to nail it so close, well, that is something else. It is worth mentioning, going down to that fence, that is our blue fence, fence number 5, slightly narrower poles there. As Nicholas clears the triple combination, we proceed into this wall at the height of 1m45. So far so good with just the one from home, and another clear incoming for Mexico. Yes, it is. 78.10. It's completely academic because, more importantly, clear round for Nicholas Pizarro. And Chaflor Ra through to a jump off. Well, that's clear round number 5. Well, that means that 3 of the riders guaranteed to go through to the jump off here this afternoon are for Mexico, 1 for Argentina, 1 for Colombia. Will we have a European nation represented in that jump off? Well, it is the turn of just 2 European nations represented here this afternoon, Italy and Ireland. First, we go to Italy, and this is Eduardo Alain Dubois. He rides Kazan. Well, Kazan, a 13-year-old. As he ready's up to go. And into that triple bar. No issues caused by it so far. With the 7 strides, it's a slight curvature to fence number 2, 1m45 height of fence number 2, with that loop round to the pink fence. Now that's at a height of 140, 150 wide. Really wide oxer. Comparatively to the Bannereta, that's 145, but only 110 wide. But that is the first refusal we've had at the wall. It's imposing, it's challenging, and that is exactly what Jared Lachey and Benjamin Fernandez Gonzalez have decided to put that there. Yesterday in the 5-star Grand Prix, we had a watermelon wall. It was breathtaking. I haven't seen anything like that in a while. It just was so beautiful. The choice of fences that they have here, the facilities, the arena, it is something special. So 4 falls at the moment and exceeding the time allowed. Well, crosses the finish line there. It's 4 for jumping, a total of 27 though for the Italian rider Eduardo Alain Dubois and Kazan. So with the refusal, it does result in 27. Those time penalties, 103.34 is time. As we go to the Mexican riders again.
It is Cristobal Collado. Cristobal rides
And a rider that placed 6th in the 2-star 140 back in May in the Mexico City Tour. Also 4th in the 140 during the previous week, part of the same tour. This is Cristobal Collado, Caravan GNF Champ-Blanc. Cristobal has the 16th partnership now to join us. "27 years old. As he rides this 12-year-old horse that's moving with great agility into the triple combination. The 2-star level provides a great stepping stone for some of those younger riders to develop and to jump in a 5-star venue like this, to develop their horses, to show them some of the tracks by the top course designers that are also designing for the 5-star competitions. And this is promising. A slight rub of that first Oxer, but we've just won from home. Time is good. Will it be another clear? Yes, it will. Quick look at the clock for Cristobal. It is clear. He's through to the jump off. While moving with accuracy and speed, it's a perfect round for that young man. And that will be interesting to see how he performs in the jump off. It's providing us with the 6th clear at this point. Guaranteed a great jump off. Don't go anywhere wherever you are joining us from around the world, as this is set to be a good one. Ivana Gandara Robinson Burus riding HSB Caracola. Opting for a very appropriate hat with the extra shade in front as the sun beams down here in Mexico. But the second fence is down for the rider, joining us with a 14-year-old. Creating good scope over the triple combination. She powers through over the wall, maintaining the straight line to that related distance. This is another rider using the opportunity to jump at a 2-star level, and also not just for the courses and for the arenas and for the venue, but for some of these riders to jump alongside in the same competition as 5-star riders, for Olympians like Cian O'Connor in the same competition. But 2 knockdowns in the later part of the course, along with the 4 falls from earlier, it means 12 falls and 78.29 for Ivana Gandara Robinson, Mexico. So we proceed to Mexican rider Andrea Vega Brockman. This is Chaluna PS, a 12-year-old. She was the winner of the 5-star competition on day number 1. the opening day here. Jumping at a height of 1.45 meters. She will be looking to replicate something similar here. This 2-star Grand Prix. Sponsored by GNP. As she approaches the combination that really hasn't caused too many issues. And moves around now. Clear so far. Into the plank. Slight rub of the fence. Will this be our next clear? Yes, it will. A slight turn to the side of the final fence, but 75-76. See that smile on her face as she is just thrilled with that great round, and that secures her spot in the jump off, providing us with another clear round. That's clear round number 7. Well, Mexico now very well represented in that jump off. We have, in fact, 6 of the riders through to the jump off. I beg your pardon, 5 Mexican riders, and Argentina and Colombia, the other 2, creating the 7. But we go now to Brazil. Zidane 70 is what Rafael Gustola de Barros rides. Representing Brazil, a rider who uses his experience on the major international circuits to his advantage. He's highly capable of jumping 150 height. When he gets into a jump off, you know he's here to deliver a fast and accurate final round. But he just needs to keep his concentration here in this first round. He focuses on breeding young quality horses. Very important for a lot of our international riders. He's a number of younger mounts. He's trying to develop the future stars for Brazil. But now he has the one final fence to get home with after 2 close calls at that double. And he crosses the line. 80.72. He pats it in, rightly so, as that is so close to the time allowed. 81 is the time allowed, and he produced around an 80.72, just under a quarter of a second in under that time allowed. Blink and he would have been over the time allowed, but that doesn't matter. It's clear, and he's through to the jump off. So the answer is yes, Brazil will be represented in the jump off now. But last to go before we take an arena maintenance opportunity. Jose Marigara Gonzalez Ioa. Van de Dal. As we go to the final one. But it is a knock at that fence, and that means 4 false prevents Jose from getting through to the jump off. But let's keep an eye and see how his round goes. Sometimes it's so influential in the development of these horses that possibly haven't got much experience recently at international level or at all. And he comes into that water tray with a knock at that front rail. You can see it swinging back and forth, but it remains in the cup. That's the most important thing. Down and in to the combination with the final fence to go. And over it, and also over the time allowed. 82.51 is over the time allowed by 2. So 4 for jumping and 2 for time. So a total of 6 in 82.51. Jose Montero, Gonzalez, Joa, Manson, Van Dendel. As it looks so far at this halfway point, we have a total of 7. 7 through. 8, correction. It's 8 now, as 8 of our riders produce the clear round, and we proceed through to the jump off. So it looks like an update. We are in fact going to have one more before we take an arena maintenance break. So an update from the previously scheduled after 20 as we go to Nicolas Rian, the last to go now before that break in Galaxy du Marais. "22 years old, placed number of placings this week in the national classes. He'll be really looking to use this as a platform for him. Grand Prix win at this venue that's so well known across Mexican equestrian culture and society. But a knock at the triple combination and also the wall. You can very clearly see those blue fences and also the related distance down. It's a big knock at that back rail of the oxer. As he rides now with 12 false into the last line. So to the last fence, our sponsor fence, competition sponsor fence with 12 falls, 77.51. No issues with time there, but 3 on the floor for Nicolas Rion and Galaxy du Marais, Mexico. Well, that is the halfway point. Just waiting for confirmation there from the arena crew. And halfway point of this competition. So we will take a 15-minute break and be back with you for an exciting second half. Who will continue to go through to the jump off? Only one way to find out. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Desde el día cero hemos creído en el poder transformador de la energía y por eso elegimos ser ese boost que te impulsa en cada paso. Estamos orgullosos de ser parte de la historia de miles de personas increíbles, como tú. Nuestro compromiso de cuidar de ti y de los tuyos continúa. Bedoyecta. 50 años de energía que inspira.
¿Ya tienes la app Soy Cliente GNP? Descárgala, regístrate y accede a promociones, eventos y talleres exclusivos. Desde la app puedes consultar, descargar y pagar tus pólizas. Obtener orientación médica 24/7 con Médica Móvil. Acceder a tu tarjeta digital si tienes seguro médico GNP. Si tienes seguro de auto GNP, puedes solicitar asistencia vial. Guarda tus datos en la guantera digital. Disfruta todos los beneficios de ser cliente GNP. Vivir es increíble.
No lo quiero, lo necesito. Que mis viajes sean perfectos. Hacer todo desde donde esté. Que me reconozcan en todo momento. Tener ventajas en cada compra. Contrata tu tarjeta de crédito Banorte en Banorte Móvil, banorte.com y en sucursales. Banorte 125 aniversario.
We have a new leader.
Welcome back to the second half of this first round of the conclusion of 4 days. Can you believe it? It's been incredible as the sun shines down here. We are lapping it up as we have quite the jump off already planned here this afternoon. Well, there's Colombia, Argentina, Mexico and Brazil all represented in the jump off of this 2-star, the height 1m45, with a course design team here this week, being led by the level 4 Swiss course designer Jared Lachey, assisted by Benjamin Fernandez Gonzalez from Mexico. Well, if you have just joined us, a very warm welcome, or if you are continuing watching, welcome back. We restart with the Mexican riders David Garcia de la Garza and Tintortiu Teto LS, as he rides as the rider to restart us with 20 left to go. Well, he placed 5th in the Grand Prix 1m45 here in Mexico just a number of weeks ago in Zapopan. Regularly competes with his horses that have LS in their name, and that indicates La Silla Stud Farm. So far this is a really promising restart to the competition. Close call on that fence, not a lot of scope over it. Powers through to that water train. It's a knock of the back rail. Well, that is at a height of 145, but at 155 wide, it really demands the horse to stretch over it. As we go now to the final fence, our competition sponsor fence, a disappointing shake of the head. He's so disappointed with that. Just the one down. It is just 4 faults for David Garcia de la Garza, Mexico. Well, we remain with the riders for the home nation, and Patricio Pascal rides Gazelle SM. And we go now to a rider with plenty of experience, and was the winner of the 142 star on day number 1 here. Now at a height of 1m45, will he be able to replicate something similar, or at least just jump a clear round to guarantee his spot in the jump off? And he goes round, moving at a good pace here. One of the top Mexican riders. As we go now into the second half of this part of the course. But what looked like a really good jump has resulted in the back hoofs knocking the front rail of the water jump, again causing issues here on course for one of our riders. As Patricio also knocks the last fence, so a total of 8 there, and 76.02 for the Mexican rider. Well, lots of different nations represented, in fact, in this second half. Many of them are representing South and Central American countries. we have only one representing a non-Central and Southern American country, and that is Ireland, coming up in one athlete time as we go to Brazil. Felipe Godinho. Oh, this is Brazil. And L'oublier la LS. As we go to the 23rd to present here. Here's the first triple bar combination, or fence. Moving over the ground and covering it well into that related distance down to the narrower poles. That's the skull fence, the iconic Mexican design. At fence number 5 at a height of 145. Brazil already has one representation in the jump off. Will it be another? As Rafael Augusto de Barros is through, will Filippo be able to go clear as he stretches over that water tray oxer? Promising. Strong performance, but it just all falls apart at the double combination. The third and second last efforts. A knock at the front or first obstacle, and then resultantly just loses the steadiness going into the second part and results in a refusal. So that would be, well, in fact, he has decided to retire. So Filippo Godinho and decided to retire. It'll be LS Brazil. Well, that is how cruel it can be, right to that final line. It was looking so strong for the Brazilian. Well, we go now to a rider that has represented Ireland right across the world and has had a great time here all week. 6th place finish in the Grand Prix yesterday, our 5-star Grand Prix, and a 6th place finish earlier on today in the 2-phase competition at a height of 1.50 m also. Place 4th on Friday in the 2-star 145. Let's see if the 4-time Olympian Cian O'Connor can produce a clear round. Well, he rides Pegasus into the second half of this first round now. Can we get a European nation represented in the jump off? He's a team gold medalist in the 2017 European Championships, an individual bronze medalist, the same European Championships, but that individual bronze medal at the London 2012 Olympic Games is standing the test of time as he goes over that last fence and through the finish line. The smile on his face says it all. 78.21. Cian O'Connor, Pegasus, Ireland, clear out and through to the jump off. Well, the accuracy, skill and speed we expect from Cian O'Connor has enabled him to provide a clear round, and that means that the first and in fact will be the only European nation represented in the jump off as Ireland is through. Well, Fabian Sejanes and Tiken LS will be having to follow that performance. Plenty of experience for this rider representing Argentina. Placed 8th in the 2-star 140 on Thursday as he comes round to the first fence. Slight rub of one of the poles. As we go to this experienced Olympian. Competed part of the 2020 Olympic Games. A rider has seen the very top of the sport. Maybe looking to lay down a solid performance here today, but just the 4 faults incurred with Tiken LS. Again, that prefix ASIA. And a knockdown at the trouble double, the problemsome double, causing issues right across the board here for the riders, and across the finish line with 8 faults then, an 83.03, but that is also over the time allowed, 3 for time. Total of 11 then for Fabian Sejanes in Argentina. To the Mexican rider next, and Nicole Mayer Robredo. She rides Natal Vanta TNL. Just 25 years old, this young lady. Competing here all week. Enjoying every moment of this superb complex and arena. She rides as 12-year-old. Moving through to that oxer. Covering the ground as she comes around into the triple combination, and to be fair, hasn't caused a lot of issues. And a reminder of that, it is 145 vertical in, a 1 stride, 143 high, 150 wide oxer right in the middle, and then 2 strides to a 145 vertical out. She powers through over that water tray. Just really needs to keep the composure, especially going into this final double. And with the 4 faults, in fact, over that last fence in 77.36, it's 4 with Natal Van TNL, Nicole Mayer, as she just has the 1 down. Well, still plenty to go here, and we go to the next. Well, this is the Brazilian rider Rodrigo Lambre. He rides for Follow PS for Brazil. He's had a great week so far, including 4 top 6 finishes across all the competitions here. At that 6th place finish in the 145 2-star, and then went on to place 4th in the 5-star at 150 competition on Friday. And earlier today was a top 10 performance for him. Let's see if this Brazilian rider that was part of the team that won gold in the 2019 Pan American Games can use his experience and skill. Previous winner of the 160 Grand Prix 5-star level at Coba Paxman here in Mexico. So far so good. Into the plank. And another clear for Brazilian riders. This time Rodrigo Lambre. He guarantees his spot through to the jump off. That's a super round. Guarantees his spot with just the 12 or so left to go. And it is to the man that was the winner here earlier today, Samuel Parot. Won the 150 5-star competition, a 2-phase earlier here in this arena. He was in this competition earlier, just had those 2 little stops, so back in for redemption. Samuel goes this time with David Guetta, 2-time Olympian for Chile, London and Tokyo in 2012 and 2020 respectively. Bronze medal, the team jumping in 2022 South American Games. He's a real prominent rider for Chile. He's competed at the World Equestrian Games in Normandy back in 2014 and has won FEI medals also going into the Oxer. Real consistent competitor, even participating in events like the Global Champions Tour and the Major League Show Jumping. And he will be looking to continue the form. And he does rightly that. Over the finish line in 74.93. All academic with the time as long as it's in under the time allowed. That guarantees his spot in the jump off. Clear round for Samuel Parot. Well, that means Chile is also now represented in the jump off. Colombia, Argentina, Mexico, Brazil, Ireland and Chile. Those are the nations, as the home crowd is very much behind every single Mexican rider that comes into this arena. We revert back to those Mexican riders as it's the turn of Alberto Rianplanes. Alberto goes with Corel. This is a 14-year-old. As he goes down that direct line. to the blue fence, but knocks it. He's just 21 years old. So 8 faults now for him. So he comes round from the in-out gate. In over the plank. And down to the problemsome double. And it is caused a problem for him. Further 4 faults on the last one also. So we'll finish up on a total of 16 there. 78.76 is the time for him. Alberto Rian Planes and Corel, Mexico. Well, the remaining nations that will be represented in this competition is Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, Brazil, with a prize fund of $62,500 US. Significant amount of money, and approximately $21,000 US will go to our winner here this afternoon. So it is to our next runner. Rodriguez from Mexico. Refuses on a Honorate fence that's just unsettled my Lord M. He's taken an opportunity just to gather him before he reapproaches. Emilio, just 16 years old. Incredible. Placed fourth earlier this year in the 145 2-star part of the Mexico City Tour. Moving well now, just that refusal. Has of course exceeded the time allowed, very much so, over the time of 81 seconds. 1 time penalty for every second exceeding that, so you can expect a significant number of time penalties. But the first element of the double is down, so will mean 8 for jumping, and with the time of 102.97, it is a total of 30. That is Emilio Salares Rodriguez and my Lord M. Mexico. Well, 10 exactly left to go here this afternoon as the sun shines down. It's quite hot here, in fact, but really pleasant conditions. Now we go to the next rider. It's for Argentina. This is Pompero. Riding this is Geronimo Guimarães Herrera. Well, certainly has some of those younger horses he tries to produce, and alongside his experienced campaigners, showcasing his role for developing horses. Now he's went in on the left rein into that first fence. We haven't seen too many people do that. All paid off so far. A veteran of major international team events in particular, has represented Argentina, the Longines FAI Jumping Nations Cup, part of that series where he competes against some of the best riders in the world. As he's over that triple combination. Looping around now for the rider that moved to Mexico to establish his equestrian career. Already has one clear. Can he double his chances in this jump off? It's looking good. Yes is the answer to that. Quick glance back, a turn of the head, and that is in under the time allowed. It's clear for Dramano Guimarães Herrera to get 2 through to the jump off now. Well, good odds for him. Yes, it's the only rider with 2 through, and that means total of 12. 12 are going through to the jump off at this point. Go to young lady for Mexico. This is Sofia Larrara B. It was a top 9 performance in the 2-star 140 here on day number 1 on Thursday. Incredible to think we've had 4 days of this. Where has the time gone? It's just glorious to be here. Such a magnificent show. A wonderful arena. As Sofia rides Crazy Guapo PS. This is by Calasco. It's a 9-year-old. Oh, she's moving now into the second half of this. She's represented Mexico before at the Continental Games, including a top 10 finish back in 2014 in the individuals. Experienced rider, using all of that skill aboard her horse Crazy Guapo PS. It's good enough to go over the line and clear out. Clear out number 13 means Sofia Herrera B is through to the jump off. She's so pleased with that. A thumbs up over to her supporters at the in and out gate. Clear out into the jump off. Now she will certainly have been aiming for that clean round like all of our riders, of course, but she'll be using her vast experience to secure a quick winning round in the jump off. We will just have to wait and see. Don't go anywhere. That's coming up very, very soon as we go to a rider that already has 1 through to the jump off. Well, in fact, he's produced one of the fastest rounds of the clears. He already has 1 through. He'll be looking to double his chances, just like the Argentinian rider, Dramano Guimarães Herrera. This is John Perez Bomb back in with us this time. The Rosa S. There he goes. into this with the ability to have adjusted his game plan. He demands his attention, but he's such a strong partnership with his horses, and he really has the ability to win against the clock. Proven winner, natural speed. He will be looking for a podium finish, and he'll be looking to double the chances to do so. Jean Perez Bomb clears the last fence over the line, and a glance at that clock, it's entirely academic as he's clear round. Well, the speed was there, more importantly the accuracy. Another great round for him. Well, we're now entering into the second rides for a lot of these riders, and this is another rider that has produced a clear round here already this afternoon. Federico Fernandez is back in with us this time. He is ready to double his chances also. He rides Davidoff as a 16-year-old. He was the winner of that 5-star Grand Prix here yesterday. We just have to wait and see if he can do the back-to-back and win the 5-star Grand Prix and also the 2-star here this afternoon. But he has decided after the 4 faults, enough is enough, and Davidoff will retire. He will retire with Davidoff, and as we say, not all lost, as Federico already has one through to the jump off. Certainly will be one to watch, but alongside the likes of Rodrigo Lambre, Cian O'Connor, Samuel Parot, Jean Perez Bomb. Well, I don't know, it's going to be a very, very close call here this afternoon. A lineup that will be one to watch, with the continuation here of the last 6 remaining riders. We remain with the Mexican riders, Patricio Pascal Po, so to Patricio, and riding Chacolavido PS. This young gun, part of the Pascal dynasty, he represents our home nation, which has a lot of support here from the gathering audience and spectators. This young man rapidly making a name for himself. He's won in major venues like Aachen, already competing against some of the top 5-star riders, including his own father, Patricio Pascal. Well, today he's looking to get into that jump off. Fortunately, his father wasn't able to do it earlier in the class. There's 4 faults at our fence leading down to the water tray oxer, so not to be. It's Chacolavido PS. Just needing a steady up going into that plank. And another knock at the double leading to the final fence. Competition sponsor fence GNP. And over the finish line with a total of 1277.01. Well, that is 12 for the Mexican rider Patricio Pascal Pou and Chaclo Vido PS. Continuing now to another Mexican rider. In fact, the last of our riders, we have 3 Mexican, 1 Brazil and 1 Argentina. Those are the remaining nations represented. Ireland, the only nation outside of the Americas, being represented in the jump off by Olympian Cian O'Connor. Roberto Sanchez Cozar on course now. Giovanni Di Perhet. Over that pink oxer. He's certainly one of Mexico's most reliable team riders. Almost 1,000 international FEI starts. Known for his precision and accuracy. And he continues to demonstrate that this afternoon here. Had a Grand Prix victory earlier in the year in Mexico City. So with all that experience, he needs to maintain a smooth and efficient track. As we go into that problem double, and the first element catches, Alberto out, 4 faults, Giovanni Di Perpet in 79.83. Well, when we reflect upon that double that is causing the issues, it's a height of 1.43 in, it's 155 wide. And it's 145 on the out. It's a 1 stride, and it leads to a 6 stride from the plank down to it. It can also be extra stride added into that, so a 6 or 7 that some of our riders may opt to use, and then a 9 stride down to the final fence. Causing a lot of issues. It's caught most of the riders that have incurred faults on the course. Now we go to K-Star riding this Mexican rider, Juan Pablo Shedegari Prom. Top 10 finish in the 135 2-star on day number 1. On Thursday. As we move around this course. So many of our riders across the last 4 days have commented on just how perfect the footing of this arena is, and in fact we've heard from a course designer, Gérard Lachey from Switzerland, comment on just how well the grass is maintained, but also how well it's shown through in this week of 5-star jumping, 5 and 2-star jumping, as we have another one through to the jump off, and just through. A sigh of relief by Juan Pablo as he is just in under that time allowed of 81 seconds. The time is just over half a second, or under half a second, I should say, under the time allowed. So again, a rider that has timed it to perfection to get his round into the jump off. Let me go now to the final, last few remaining riders, and Brazil is next represented. This is quite Elvis VE. Right, and this is Bruno Cavaliero Ribeiro. Not forgetting that this is a 2-week tour. It's the Mexico Fall Tour. So we will continue with jumping here next week. A wonderful way to showcase this magnificent venue. Next week we have plenty on offer, so do tune in as the Brazilian is moving well over this ground and needs to just keep that composure over that double. He does so, and there will be another clear. Yes, it will for Brazil. Quite Elvis VE, as the third last to go produces a clear round, guarantee his spot in the jump up. Bruno Cavaliero Ribeiro, quite Elvis VE.
Yes, and that gets us 3 Brazilian riders into the jump off, joining his teammate Bruno Cavaliero. Belgium's lads in the jump off. Ladies on White Elvis.
2 left to go, 1 for the home nation. Can we get another one in? Well, we'll just have to wait and see, as we have the final Mexican rider, Carlos and Santa Rosa Dulis. This is Carlos Rodolfo Molina Gordillo. And over that triple bar hasn't caused any issues at all today. Moves in to this related distance, but knocks the first or the back rail of that oxer. And a refusal going into the triple combination for the 23-year-old. As he raises his hand, Carlos has decided to call it a day with the Santa Rosa Dulis. Get that knockdown, and then also just going into that triple combination, loses the momentum, then decides not to put any more strain unnecessarily on Santa Rosa. Well, that means we have 1 left to go in this afternoon's Grand Prix. It's the turn of the Argentina rider Juan Bastida Putitre Hortas. And he plays fourth in the 2-star 140. Yesterday at the competition with winning round. Top 10 finish in the 145. on Friday, part of our 2-star jumping also, but it was a top 8 finish on day number 1 on Thursday in the 150 5-star for this rider. He rides Colminda. He's a 9-year-old. And regularly competes in major shows here in Mexico, and often showcases high-level talent in the North American region. A real seasoned competitor to finish us off. Often finishes in the money. Riding style pays off against the clock. He's a fast and efficient rider, and he only has 4 left to jump. It'd be so great to finish with another clear, especially for Argentina, to create them a little bit more chance against the home nation. And in fact, he goes clear. It's clear for Argentinian Juan Bostida Pid Utri Otas. Well, a super clear round there, and that means Colminda is through to the jump off with quite a number of clear rounds here this afternoon. We're set for an interesting showdown of our jump off with Colombia, Argentina, Mexico, Brazil, Ireland, Chile, all represented. Who will be crowned the 2-star Grand Prix winner of 2025? Will it be the Grand Prix winner of last year?
Omega 45 jump off. Omega 45 Grand Prix here in OTOMI. So as the course is being adjusted, we're going to have a quick look at the jump off. We started with fence 9, vertical at the top of the arena by the pocket, and then we go to the new fence at 15, which was 12B in the first round, the vertical beside the far wall there, and then they swing left onto another new fence in the middle of the arena. They play do it vertical, and then they swing right hand and back to themselves with a Monte Oxer at 4. Great distance down to vertical at fence 5. Will they take a stride out, or will they stay on the front stance? And then they swing down towards you there to VIP. On the big area there, they jump fence 6 to 8 and B.
Desde el día cero, hemos creído en el poder transformador de la energía, y por eso elegimos ser ese boost que te impulsa en cada paso. Estamos orgullosos de ser parte de la historia de miles de personas increíbles, como tú. Nuestro compromiso de cuidar de ti y de los tuyos continúa. Bedoyecta, 50 años de energía que inspira.
¿Ya tienes la app Soy Cliente GNP? Descárgala, regístrate y accede a promociones, eventos y talleres exclusivos. Desde la app puedes consultar, descargar y pagar tus pólizas. Obtener orientación médica 24/7 con Médica Móvil. Acceder a tu tarjeta digital si tienes seguro médico GNP. Si tienes seguro de auto GNP, puedes solicitar asistencia vial. Guarda tus datos en la guantera digital. Disfruta todos los beneficios de ser cliente GNP. Vivir es increíble.
No lo quiero, lo necesito. Que mis viajes sean perfectos. Hacer todo desde donde esté. Que me reconozcan en todo momento. Tener ventajas en cada compra. Contrata tu tarjeta de crédito Banorte en Banorte Móvil, banorte.com y en sucursales.
Banorte, 125 aniversario. We have a new leader.
Beautiful San Miguel de Allende for the grand finale of this 4-day show. It comes down to the two-star Grand Prix with a prize fund of $62,500 US. The course is set, the fences are standing tall, and the world-class riders are ready to give everything for one last moment. To win here in San Miguel means something special. It is a moment to remember. Precision, speed, and bravery will all be needed to take the win in this spectacular arena. From the first stride to the final fence, the two-star Grand Prix promises to be a thrilling conclusion to an incredible week of show jumping. Let's get underway. First to take this challenge on, Colombian John Perez Bon, running King of Pop VK. Over through, looping around from that new additional fence 15 to 4, down to 5, an all too familiar line. We now go around to what was the triple combinations being reduced to just 6A and 6B. The vertical, Ox are out, one stride in between, and then our all-important final gallop to fence number 7. Clears the wall, powers through over the finish line, 40.90. Clear for the Pathfinder. Well, it's Jean Perez Bon, King of Pop VK. And 40.90. As we go to one of the riders that has multiple rides, John also has 2 in this, but this is another rider with 2 in it. Good odds for these. Oh, Geronimo Jimenez Herrera. Caroli's come on as the Argentinian rider. Just as we wait for him to position himself and the ground jury gives the bell. Fence 9, that is a familiar fence to you. It was a fence that led down to the water tray Oxer in the second half of the course, of course. A left-hand turn from fence number 9 to fence 12B. That was part of that trouble double, as I called it, the final, the penultimate fence that was on the course. It's now a singular fence, it's just that vertical. It's a left-handed turn to fence number 16. Now, the second fence, the vertical that was part of the double, that has actually been changed into an Oxer, and that is why it's changed from 12B to 15. It's a left-hand turn to fence number 16, a completely brand new additional fence, and a left-handed turn to 4 to 5 with a left-handed turn on that left rein to the double with a final gallop to the wall. Geronimo Hernandez is Herrera with Carly's come on now. In through, down that related distance. Landing there at about 25 seconds after our blue skull fence. Knocked down at the first element. Clears the wall, but also just trails the back hoof, touches the brick of the wall. Now you could just see, and just a little tip of the whip, just to maintain the control. So a total of 8 then, and 40.87 for Argentina's Geronimo Jimenez Herrera. And Carly's come on Argentina, as we say, not all lost, as he does have another one in here. Well, the first for the home nation. He was the winner here yesterday afternoon. He's looking to replicate his success. Will he be the back-to-back winner here this afternoon? He only has the one opportunity to prove himself. He needs to beat a time of 40.90. And in fact, that opening round by John Perry's bomb, I know we did display it as a clear round, but in fact the judges have marked it as 4 faults. We will just await clarification on that, but at the moment on the official system, he has been marked as 4 faults. So at this stage, I will say that we are awaiting the first clear round. Will it be for the home nation? It's Federico Fernandez and Quinley. Over the first fence down to that new Oxer. And then down to the new additional fence as well. 16. Five strides down. Looks like a slower pace covering the ground. And our first clear produced by the Mexican rider Federico Fernandez, Quinley, 47.42. Well, we believe that is the first clear now, as we just still are awaiting the verification of the amendment to that score for John Perez bomb as the 4 faults. Well, the music plays out as there's a real big crowd gathered here for this 2-star Grand Prix, and they're getting into the mood of it and they're getting into the swing of it. But will it be a win here this afternoon for Juan Pablo? Juan Pablo Shaderi Prom rides Aquel Sun for Mexico as the 4th to take on this track. Well, it's a challenging track set by the course design team being led by Gerard Lachey from Switzerland, assisted by Benjamin Fernandez Gonzalez of Mexico. 49 seconds, the time allowed. Our time to beat displayed there, 47.42. One clear so far. Can he beat his fellow countryman's time of 47.42 set by Federico Fernandez? 6 strides down. Pushes around the corner. Slight kick. It remains in the cups. You can see the split time displayed on your screen. Will it be faster? Yes, it will. Just under 3 seconds faster. Juan Pablo Shadiri Prom, Aquel Sun in the lead. Well, a clear round, and just look at the ability of that wonderful horse. Oh, it's really starting to heat up here. 2 clears, 44.52. That's the new time to beat. That's the new standard display on your top left screen. But it's to Nicolas Pizarro and Chao Flora that is with the challenge to beat that time. It's such a glorious day here in Mexico, and this will conclude the first week of 2 weeks of international jumping next week. It is 3-star jumping, 4 days of that, the 15th to the 19th, part of this Mexico Fall Tour in OTOMI Equestrian Center. As Nicholas Pizarro is ready to go. Over and on the right rein now. Tight turn. 5 down to the blue. Certainly faster. And through the finish line, the crowd is cheering as Nicholas Pizarro goes into the lead with that time of 40.06. That's the standard to beat now. We promised you a great jump off, and hopefully you're enjoying it as it just keeps getting quicker and quicker here by the Mexican riders. 3 of them producing clear rounds. 40.06 is our new standard. Well, the arena crew is certainly doing a job to get the crowd going with some of the music that's playing as the riders enter the arena. It's a wonderful little extra as we go to the next of the Mexican riders. Well, it keeps getting quicker and quicker by these Mexican athletes that join us. A quick round by Cristobal Collado could guarantee him a win here at this 2-star Grand Prix. He goes with Caraman GNF Champlain. He'll really need to move over the ground. Just composing himself into this new additional fence. Needs to take the tight turn, but somewhat slow going round that corner. Plenty of encouragement from the audience. Well, we have a split time and 4 faults now anyway, so won't be in contention for taking a Grand Prix victory here this afternoon, but 4 faults in 42.99, 3 seconds slower than the leading time, just under 3 seconds. That for a rider that just encouraged going into the first element of the double. Cristobal Collado with Caramant JNF Champlain. Well, a little bit of ABBA now for the spectators joining the magnificent arena here as Andrea Vega Brockman is ready to ride Jacques Luna PS. Next to take on this challenge. And another rider that takes an opportunity to bless themselves for the opportunity here to jump. As we come round to the first fence, and off we go. I will say, seems a little bit slow going into that fence, and certainly slow now as it is a knockdown at the second fence for Andrea. Well, another knockdown. There's the back rail, or a banner, banner, I'd say. It's slowed way down. There's no need to really push any further. It's 8 faults on the score as it stands, so as long as she gets in under that time allowed, and she does with the 8 faults, it's 48.09. and the Rebecca Brockman is concluding her round there with Charluna PS. To the first rider representing Brazil, Rafael Augusto Leia de Barros, who rides the Dane. Well, the music plays to get the crowd going behind the Brazilian. We do have just two more Brazilian riders in the lineup here of this jump off. Tension is certainly rising. The crowd is ready. "17 riders in this jump off, but only one Grand Prix title. Who will be the winner of this 2-star? Off we go. It's Zidane. Just looked like he was going to jump the wrong fence. Skids past it and loops run down. 6 strides down to the blue. The margin for error here is razor thin, but it is too slow to be in with contention of that top spot. But after the 4 faults, he's certainly out of contention. Now knocks the last fence as well, and a quick turn of the head. He probably heard the sound off the hoofs, and quick turn of the head to verify it is in fact a brick off the wall down. So a total of 8 then. Well, 8 for Rafael Augusto de Barros and Zidane for Brazil. Well, entering the arena now is U2 is the song that the DJs have decided to welcome the Irish Olympian rider Cian O'Connor into the arena. If anyone knows the challenge that lays ahead of him, it is this man from County Meath in Ireland. Oh, he sets off now with Pegasus. Cian O'Connor has the task of beating the time of 40.06. We've seen the riders walk this course carefully. They've planned for this moment to get into this jump off. But now it is all instinct and trust between the horse and rider, and if any of the riders have that instinct and bond with the horses, this Irishman, as he covers the ground with a quick pace. Into our double, slight rub of the first element, 5 seconds to beat the leading time. Powers through over that wall. It's a clear round and a faster time. Clear for Cian O'Connor. Pegasus 38.66 into the lead. Well, that could be very, very difficult to beat. Just look at the angle that he jumped over the new additional fence, and then that final push over the finish line. Cian O'Connor now in top tier position to win this 2-star Grand Prix here this afternoon in Mexico. 38.66 is our new time to beat. But we have quite the lineup still to go. 8 left to jump, including this international rider Rodrigo Lambre. 4 follow PS. He has to follow that round and that time set by Cian O'Connor of 38.66. Well, every second counts, every fence matters. You know exactly where they can save time now at this point, and they can't afford to miss any opportunity. Well, this is another rider that has so much experience at the very, very top level of the sport. As he sets off, but certainly with a slower pace by the looks of it, going down to the fence 14. Jumping into our related distance. 5 strides down to the blue. We'll need a really tight turn here. And a knockdown at the first element of the double. Also just too slow. Well, in fact, look at that. It's quicker, 38.35 with 4 faults and just under a third of a second quicker. Just seemed a little bit slower covering the ground, but a big scopy horse, and would have went into the lead for Rodrigo Lambre. At the moment is still a 5th place finish for him at this point, provisionally ranked 5th. Cian O'Connor in 1st, Nicholas Pizarro in 2nd, Juan Pablo Shaderi Prom in 3rd. That's the top 3 as it stands. As we continue to Samuel Parro. He is back in with us after that super win this morning in the 5-star 152 phase. Will he be able to have the accuracy but also the speed in today's 2-star Grand Prix? Well, the crowd here in San Miguel have, in OTOMI, have been fantastic all week, and they have really cheered on all of the riders, not just the Mexican. And they know they're about to witness a real showdown here this afternoon as we enter into the final stages of this jump off. Will the leading time be beaten? Great pace down the first line. Nice tight turn. All working out so far. Samuel Parro rides David Guetta, and it's a knockdown leading to a refusal to Part B, and I could just see possibly coming round that corner that it was just a little bit too tight of a turn. Just had to make a small quick correction at the end, right before jumping that first element, and then just lost the controllability. Samuel Parro and David Guetta. A second refusal there, in fact. So it will be elimination. Yeah, just too tight of a turn. Didn't give too much of an opportunity to David Guetta. And elimination here for Samuel Parro. But as we say, not a loss. He was already a winner here at 5-star level. That was a competition also with a prize fund of €62,500. So good day at the office for him earlier. Not so much this afternoon, but overall He's had a wonderful, or an excellent week, I should say, here at this show. To Geronimo Gimenez, Herrera, and Pampero. He was in with us earlier. Jumped 8 faults in his first one in this jump off. He's had the ability to reflect, to reconsider, possibly readjust his plan, especially as he knows his horses and Pampero could be just a little bit tactically different. As we go through the 17 that got through to the jump off. Now he approaches the first and clears it. Slight rattle of the new oxer. Beautiful balance coming around that corner. "25 seconds landing after our blue. Too slow here this afternoon to take the top spot, but with just the 4 clears so far, he pushes through to the final fence, holds on and gets the time of 40.78. Clear round for Geronimo Gimenez Herrera. Pampero is into provisional third. So third place finish there for Geronimo, as Nicholas Pizarro is second and Cian O'Connor holds on to that top spot. A quick round clear. This round that these riders and horses are having to produce is certainly a test, and they're providing us with so much entertainment here. Well, this girl is on fire, if you can hear that in the background, is what the DJs have decided to play for the Mexican lady, Sofia La Herrera B. She rides Crazy Guapo PS. Let's see if this is a Crazy Guapo. Is he crazy against the clock? They'll be all thinking about where they can dare to make a turn, make a decision that could change the course of this competition as we enter into the final stages. Just 4 riders remain after Sofia. Cian O'Connor set to win another Grand Prix here, as it's a knockdown with the back rail for Sofia. And clears that last fence. So over the last in 4 faults with the time of 42.03. Just the 1 rail down. Such a shame after a fantastic effort. Really went for it but didn't quite pay off. Well, we proceed into the final stages, as we say, with Cian O'Connor in the lead in 38.66. That is the time to beat. Nicholas Pizarro in second, 40.06. Geronimo Gimenez Herrera in 40.78. That is the top 3. John Perez Bomb is ranked 7 at the moment, as he incurred 4 faults earlier on, but he rejoins us here with his second opportunity to claim victory for Colombia. Larissa S. is his second ride here this afternoon. Well, the lead kept changing there, but now that performance by Cian O'Connor could be so difficult to beat. But this is a rider that has all the experience necessary to make those calculated moves, to ensure the consistency and rideability is maintained right along this jump off track. With the backhanded turn over and into the double that's caused so many issues. Clear with 5 seconds to cross that finish line. It won't be a fast enough round to claim the top spot, but 39.81 is good enough to put Jean Perez-Bom into second. Well, that's a super round for the man that was so close with his first ride, and certainly a little bit of redemption there with Larissa S. Really deserves it after such a week of great jumping by the Colombian. Well, 3 riders left. Only one of those can put the home nation in a good position to win this 2-star Grand Prix here in OTOMI. Well, riding K-Star for the home nation, Mexico, Juan Pablo Chederi-Prom with K-Star. He's ranked 5th at the moment with his earlier ride. Got clear in 44.52. He's one of our earlier clears. Our clear that was produced in the earlier part of this jump off. K-Star this time. We'll just have to see. Can our host nation, home nation here, has provided us with so much entertainment and warm hospitality, be able to take the top spot, but looking at the pace and the time, but also now that refusal, it's not going to be a win for Mexico. As he clears the fence, but a rattle of the pole but knocks the succeeding fence. Sitting on a total of 8 faults, and now also in 2 time penalties. The time allowed 49 seconds, decided by the course design team over the last fence. So a total of 22 and 62.62 the time for Juan Pablo Chederi-Prom. Not all entirely lost there, as he is ranked 5th at the moment, so possibly we'll be seeing him in for the prize giving ceremony, as we just have 2 left to go. The penultimate one. It's down to Bruno Caballero Rebelo, Juan Elvis VE, riding for Brazil as the penultimate combination, our time to beat. A reminder displayed on the top left of your screen, 38.66 in this Grand Prix sponsored by GNP at a height of 1.45 m. I have a feeling, although it is hard to tell, a feeling that we could have seen our winning round already by the four-time Olympian Cian O'Connor. As Bruno takes a tight turn, he's having to use his entire energy to maintain the controllability. I'll be pushing for a fast clear. He needs to push on. And over the fence in 39.33. Well, that is just 0.67 of a second slower than the leading time of Cian O'Connor, 38.66. That's a performance good enough to secure rank second at this point. Bruno Caballero Rebeo, quite Elvis VE. Well, you could just see all of the power and speed and agility there in the final part as he pushed over the final fence. Well, this is it. This is the last one to jump here of week number 1 of the Mexico Fall Tour of 2025, concluding both the 5-star and 2-star jumping here in Otami. It's been a whirlwind, but it is not over yet. Juan Bastida Purutri Hortas. Well, he is last to go, riding Colminda for Argentina, as the Mission Impossible team tune is somewhat cruelly played out around the question center, and it falls silent as all attention is drawn towards the Argentinian. He needs a really careful ride. Has to be so quick on the landing to cut in around those turns. Round into the double. He is a 4 false, in fact, at the first element of the double for Juan Bastida. As he goes to the last fence, would he have been quick enough? He is a quarter of a second, approximately, too slow to have even have took that top spot. But just look at the unfortunate knock at the first element of that double. It's a 4 false. Then to conclude us off for the Argentinian. Well, that does conclude the jumping here this afternoon, and I can confirm it will be a Run the Vein, the Irish national anthem, that is played here in Otami in just a few minutes' time, as it is a win for Cian O'Connor and Pegasus, Ireland. Well, second, Bruno Caballero for Brazil. Third, Jean Perez. Fourth is Nicolas Pizarro. Fifth is Ramon Jimenez Herrera. And sixth is Juan Pablo Shaderi Pom. That's the top 6. What a afternoon of show jumping we have seen here in Mexico. And also along with this morning in our 5-star jumping, just incredible riding and horses we've seen in a stunning venue, a magnificent backdrop. Hopefully you've been able to see that in some of the images we have provided you. Some of the glorious countryside that we are surrounded by, both mountains and water as well. But for now, we do hope you can stick around and watch the prize-giving ceremony for the winner of this 2-star Grand Prix, Cian O'Connor, Ireland. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Well, welcome back to the coverage here this afternoon from Mexico as the sun shines down, and we're joined by the winner, Cian O'Connor, and a win for Ireland with Pegasus. Well, a man that's no stranger to the podium. He's placed sixth in the Grand Prix yesterday, sixth earlier on in the five-star competition, and now a win once again added to his long list of accolades and prizes. Four-time Olympic participant, and here he's a winner.
Agradecemos infinitamente a toda la página FEM y a toda la página de OTOMI y a nuestro diseñador Gerald Deschat.
Well, a wonderful, or super, I should say, super jump off and competition provided. Lots of entertainment, prize fund of $62,500 US, and just under 21,000 US going to our winner here this afternoon. Well done to Cian O'Connor. Very, very few European nationalities represented. If you were to place a bet, you probably wouldn't have put it on Ireland or Italy among the nations represented, as they only had one rider each. But if you're to look at the rider capabilities, you would certainly have put money backing Cian O'Connor, as he has so much experience and wealth of knowledge. As we now proceed into this prize giving ceremony, and we continue in reverse order. So that was 10th Juan Perez Bom for Colombia, King of Pop BK. To 9th, stepping forward, Juan Bastida Putri Hortas Whitcol Mida. Great to have recognition of all the top 10 riders here, part of the prize giving ceremony. Not just our top 3. It's important to reward and recognise as many of our riders as we can. That's exactly what we're doing here in Mexico, in OTOMI. As we go to 8th, Rodrigo Lambre for Follow PS Brazil. Well, for Mexico, Federico Fernandez riding Quinley is 7th. And he was the winner here this morning. And once again, he's back in the lineup. And he also, correction, he was the winner of the Grand Prix yesterday, and he was in the lineup here this morning, 7th in the 7th now in the 2-star Grand Prix. As we go to the next, and that is 6th, Juan Pablo Chedguri Pom, the Ecuestre Sun, Mexico. Well, there is some treats for him. I'm not quite wanting them though. And he's happy to not have a little sweet treat. Well, we go down to 5th. It's Romano Jimenez Herrera and Ampero Argentina. We're really entering into the finest of margins now, dividing the top 5. 38.66 the winning time, 39.33 second, 39.81 is third, 40.06 is fourth, and 40.78 was fifth. But the fourth, we go to Nicholas Pizarro for Mexico. And he's had a great week. He was fourth in the 150 5-star yesterday. but also third, and today finishes up fourth in the two-star Grand Prix. Well, once again, we go to third and back in the top 10, Juan Perez Bom and Teresa S, Colombia. Bruno Caballero Ribeiro and Quiet Elvis VE is second for Brazil. Just about.
I'll be very happy with this horse, just a 9-year-old.
60 approximately.
Super success in second place there for Bruno.
Just under a second behind Cian O'Connor's winning time. Well, now here is your winner. Here is the winner of the conclusion of the jumping of this first week of 2025. Cian O'Connor, Pegasus, Ireland.
Very promising horse for the future. The whole team at
Well, a superb round for Cian O'Connor. But he's no stranger to the 5-star level. In fact, that is what he regularly competes at. But today, his 2-star win will go down very nicely with Pegasus. A new ride for him. Everything that Cian does is working towards his next Olympics. He said that himself. Everything he works towards is for that moment. As he steps up to the podium, he's congratulated by John and also by Bruno. And he now is presented as along with the top 3, Bruno, John and our winner, Cian O'Connor, presented with their trophies. Well, the red carpet is rolled out, and rightly so, as this is and has been a great Grand Prix. Great jump off, 17 through to it. 7 nationalities we started off with representing, as some family have joined Bruno on stage, and that's just so lovely to see. And the photographs, the all-important photographs here in this competition, sponsored by GNP, with some of the family members looking to go off with Bruno's trophy. As we now take a moment to play the winning national anthem of Ireland. Well, a Run the Vein is played around the stadium as Cian O'Connor raises his hat in appreciation of the round of applause that he receives. And now, it's not just a small bottle of champagne like previously, it is a big bottle of champagne. Cian O'Connor ready to open it up, and ready to celebrate. He's not needing the glasses. He heads straight for the crowd that has gathered and has presented him with the champagne. But now he respectfully and rightly so returns to share it with Bruno and John as he retakes that top spot. And the three gentlemen cheers to a superb afternoon of jumping. And now we hand you over to the arena crew for a quick interview.
What a great show. Thank you to Daniel, Eduardo, and all the people who organized the show. It's been a beautiful week. Thank you to everybody. And this was just my road. And looking at the times, there's less than half a second between all three of you. It's a super must watch anyway. It must have been a bit nerve-wracking coming in and play as hard as you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, in third place, put your hands together for your Colombian rider, John Peters. Boom. So in second place for Brazil, congratulations. Bruno, a fantastic performance for you and your horse today. You must be delighted.
Yeah, we are very happy. We are very happy to come here. It's a nice show. I think it's the best show in Mexico. And every year we are here.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, in second place for Brazil, Bruno Jimenez. So, Cian O'Connor, congratulations. This horse, just an 8-year-old, a very promising horse for the future.
Yeah, I think he's a very special horse, Pegasus. We got him as a young horse 2 years ago, and Beth Underhill has done a great job at developing him over the last year, and he's owned by Susan Magner. So yeah, very excited, and he's just stepping up to this level and starting to go a bit quicker now. So he really jumped great today.
Perfect. He jumped really well last week in Cup Expand, and then I believe you're jumping again in 2 weeks' time here as well.
Yeah, the schedule here of the fall tour works really well. There's breaks in between the shows. I actually head back today, ride some younger horses in the Sunshine Tour for the next 2 weeks, while these horses get a bit of a break, and then back to Monterey to finish up.
Brilliant. And just a note on this show here at OTOMI, everything is perfect. The facilities for the riders, for the horses, absolutely everything, the footing especially.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people said, why would you go all the way to Mexico for me? But we've got some nice young horses to develop, and these rings are just wonderful. The ground here is fantastic. The warm-ups, the courses are really good. And just the whole environment, the people make us feel very welcome. So certainly very happy to be here, and look forward to coming back if you'll have me.
Oh, I'm sure they will, no doubt at all. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the 1 metre 45 Grand Prix presented by GNP, Cian O'Connor for Ireland.
Queremos hacer un...
Well, great to hear from Cian, great to hear from Bruno and John also. Really interesting to hear Cian talk about the facilities and the warm hospitality, along with the opportunity for the schedule to meet his needs here by jumping in Mexico. Well, there's only one thing left to do. The final lap of honour. Well, 10 of the riders, the top 10 indeed, are ready and waiting, standing by for the final moment as jumping is brought to a conclusion here in this arena. As the sun shines down, it is an absolutely beautiful day. Cian was saying that why would people question him travelling all the way to Mexico to jump horses. Well, I can assure you the weather wouldn't be like that in Ireland this time of year. So it is great for him to be jumping here in this glorious sunshine, a magnificent venue. Well, in just a moment we will get underway with that lap of honour as Cian O'Connor is ready, but we're just waiting on Bruno and John to also remount. Well done to everyone involved here at OTOMI. Well done to the organising committee. Again, putting on such a super show. But here we go. Cian O'Connor leads off in the lap of honour. Bruno second and John is third. Well, the crowd are getting along in on the action as he leads the pack of 10. First, Cian O'Connor. Second, Bruno Caballero Ribeiro. Third, John Perez Bomb. Fourth, Nicholas Pizarro. Fifth, Gimero Gomez Herrera. And sixth, Juan Pablo Shadiori Prom. And as you can see as they ride around the arena, and Cian O'Connor comes round for the final winner's lap. He salutes the audience that have gathered as they cheer him on. A win for Cian. Second, a win for Bruno, Brazil. Third, Colombia's John Perez. Fourth, Nicholas Pizarro, Mexico. And fifth, Geronimo Giménez Herrera. Seventh, Federico Fernandez, Mexico. Rodrigo Lambre, 8th, Brazil. Well, that does conclude the jumping here in Otomi. A pleasure to have you along with us. We do hope you've enjoyed every moment. Here is a recap of our winning round. Once again, a win for Cian O'Connor, Pegasus, Ireland. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
We have a new leader.
Make this happen. Kike, who's the manager on the grounds, the people that are around him, make it happen. Mauricio and Mario Alvarez make the stalls brand new, made it happen. We try to make a really good facility for everybody, but mostly Antonio Chedraui and Alfonso Romo that help us on the fall tour. We're very grateful to them that we can do this and make great shows in Mexico, 5-star events. And I think we can put the name in Mexico really high, and everybody's welcome to come next year. And we hope to see everybody in Monterrey and next year here and in Jalapa.
Oh, exactly. Like Cian was saying there, when I spoke to him, he'll definitely be coming back and spreading the good word back in Ireland and across Europe, because like Cian said, everything here is what you need for a 5-star show, and I don't see why it can't get bigger and better.
Yeah, I think every facility here, that from the fall tour, from Jalapa to us to Monterrey, we bring the best course designer. We were really impressed with Gerard's, the way he worked here, the kind of courses he built, technical yesterday Grand Prix. We're very happy that a Mexican took it. Yeah. Let's see if anybody can come and try to take it from Federico next year. Yeah, we're very, very happy.
Let's see, yesterday was a superb day of show jumping, and not only here at the main arena, but the other arenas as well. I believe it was just over 30 competitions you've had this week, which is amazing.
Yeah, we had almost 600 horses, and we're really grateful to people like you, Carola, with the announcers, the people, the judges, everybody. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone, but I want to thank everybody, Danny, Esteban, that did a great job on the kitchen. I think everybody's very happy, and this is a place where we're very serious about the show jumping, about the best sport in the world. And we're also very serious about having good parties. So we hope everybody enjoyed it, and we hope everybody's coming back next week.
For sure. Well, from myself and Daniel, thank you very much to you and the whole team. And we definitely look forward to next week. We have another great week of show jumping next week, and then maybe next year as well.
Yeah, we'll see you here next week at night. It's going to be, it's Saturday Night Live, and we hope everybody comes, enjoys a great, great show.
Great. Thank you very much. Daniel Rehan, everybody. Thank you very much. Cheers.
We have a new leader.
Desde el día cero, hemos creído en el poder transformador de la energía, y por eso elegimos ser ese boost que te impulsa en cada paso. Estamos orgullosos de ser parte de la historia de miles de personas increíbles, como tú. Nuestro compromiso de cuidar de ti y de los tuyos continúa. Bedoyecta, 50 años de energía que inspira.